Australian dollar forecast, key AUD, USD, AUD, NZD levels to watch. The Australian dollar is attempting to nurse its losses seen at the beginning of the week as the currency tracks risk sentiment higher. The RBA had surprised many by extending its QE program earlier than expected. It was clear that the central bank intended to place pressure on the Australian dollar, with the RBA noting that the currency is in the upper end of the range of recent years. Board members also pushed back the timing of a rate hike to 2024 at the earliest, in which Governor Lowe elaborated on this by stating that they would need to see a couple of quarters of inflation above 2.25% before rates could rise. However, while the RBA reinforced its dovish stance, risk appetite is likely to keep the Aussie afloat for now, albeit the currency may continue to be out of favor against the AUD and CAD. South African Rand outlook, ZAR, remains upbeat leading up to NFP. This week, the Rand pulled back some lost gains to the US dollar despite dollar strength, as the global investor search for yield outweighed the flock to the greenback. This is not unique to the Rand, as this trend ran through most emerging market EM currencies. In addition, U.S. stimulus hopes once again supported the boost in EMs, which has been the primary influence on the USD-ZAR pair of late. This rhetoric, risk on, risk off, has plagued EMs and will continue to do so until some certainty is established. 2021 has been net negative for the Rand against the dollar, which currently sits at 2.1%. The Rand is roughly mid-table in comparison to the other EMs, but an expected global recovery could push the Rand toward December 2020 highs. GBP USD, EUR GBP, British pound cheers distancing from negative rates. GBP USD has recovered from the bearish pressure seen since last week after bouncing off the 50-day SMA. Yesterday's Bank of England meeting didn't really shine a new light on the outlook of the economy, all while leaving the interest rate and bond buying program unchanged at 0.1% and £896 billion as expected. The positive takeaway from the meeting is the unlikelihood of negative rates in the near future, as the central bank confirmed it would take 6 months for banks to be ready for negative interest rates should they be introduced. U.S. dollar price outlook, USD CAD aiming higher with NFP in focus. Equity markets pushed higher during Asia-Pacific trade on the back of a continued decline in global coronavirus cases and positive employment data out of the U.S. Australia's ASX 200 rose 1.07% despite retail sales falling 4.1% in December, while Japan's Nikkei 225 surged 1.36%. In FX markets, USD, JPY, GBP, and CHF largely outperformed, while the cyclically sensitive AUD, NZD, and NOK slipped lower. Gold and silver prices crept marginally higher as yields on U.S. 10-year treasuries held relatively steady.